home. Did you eat food? Are you satisfied? How can something that you can fold in a pant and say, please sleep, make the whole body travel kilometers? And when the thing is satisfied, you are now struggling to ride the bicycle, get back home maybe in the morning. You want to sleep, you have missed the whole night sleep. Now, can you imagine the whole body is frustrated, you are actually getting sick because they are waking you up to go to the garden. You see, you are gathering a multitude of witnesses to go and do nothing. Now, should I tell you what used to help me? I know those things happen, they disturb. For me, when it disturbs, I tell you, I used to say that, okay, since you are the one who wants, you go. When you have finished eating, please come back. Hello? We need to go. What will happen? I am simply saying, learn to be a master of yourself. Hello? Learn to be a master of what? Don't allow just small things to control you because you feel like, someone is doing something better, you want to become better than that person when your capacity is not able to do that. Sometimes you want to compete as student leaders, you really want to make sure that I am doing much better than everybody else. It is not about standards, it's not about competition, it's about what you are offering. It's about what you are offering. For me, I contested to be a health prefect in Teso College. And we were not given elections, we were actually told, we were given an assignment. And they gave us a competition, a shoe polishing competition. Whoever polishes shoes nicely will become the health prefect. And that's how I got it. If you look at my shoe that time, you will actually see your picture. It was so shiny, very nice. That's how I got to be the health prefect. So, you need to respect yourself, respect others. Do things that show that you respect others. There are people who are careless. Your bed is here. You are throwing your clothes on the other person's bed. Which are you doing that you are receiving? Why don't you just pack them, find time to wash? Respect other people's privacy. Self-awareness. Are you aware about who you are? Do you know some of us that the Lord has given us positions of leadership? But up to now, you still think you are the other ordinary person. You don't even know the level that you are in. That's why when something wrong happens, you are also caught on the other wrong side of the law. Because you are not aware of who you are. When others are striking, you are also right. When they are sending people, when they are chasing people away, who did a strike, you are also going away. Can you imagine here, in one of the institutions here, a guild president was good smoking marijuana. My colleagues here, my brothers and sisters here, bear me witness. Here in Soroti, a guild president with two others, they were smoking yarn. Now, does that person know who he is? Is he aware of the position they have? My dear, any position of leadership, even if it is being a class captain, even being an LOC one of the village, it should be reminded that you are in a leadership position. And you need to have that awareness, We used to have a teacher in my own people would get witness. He would come to class when he's very drunk, being drunk. Completely drunk. And then he comes to make fun, makes fun. People laugh, and when they laugh, he says, even if I don't give you notes, by the end of the month, my salary comes. And he walks away. When you are not aware of who you are, self-awareness, then self-management. When you are aware of yourself, there are certain things that you need to manage within yourself. Manage your temper, manage your anger, manage your emotions, manage your movements. You need to manage yourself. Leaders don't react anyhow. Leaders don't abuse. Leaders don't speak anyhow. Sometimes even when they are prompted to speak, when they are provoked to speak, but for the sake of the integrity of their positions, they choose to keep quiet. They ignore. It is not that you are supposed to respond to every statement saying, there are certain things that you need to ignore. Ignore them and they will disappear. Self-management. You need to manage yourself. Because not everything. Some of you who are managing, who are doing a lot of things, management there, you get to know that there are certain things that are good to ignore. You don't just need to make a response. You need to manage your place. Let me ask you a question. If now all of you know that I'm a priest, not so. If you met me as strikers, what will you say? What will you say? That even you, actually, it is now a reminder to me that I need to manage my movements. There are certain places that I don't need to go for the sake of exactly. So as student leaders, there are things that you need to manage within yourself. If you are being this person who eats a whole plate of food, please reduce for the sake of your position. Balance it. You don't need to clear and go for another one. Clear and go for another one. Yeah? You need to manage yourself. Responsible decision making. This is very important. As student leaders, and all of us, we need to make responsible decisions. When such things have happened, what do I need to do to make sure that everything is going on right? You need to have that at the back of your mind. You need to be committed. Every other leader must show commitment to what you are doing. Now, sometimes we don't strike a balance. You are so committed in leadership, you are not committed in class. And then every time, you are the person people are worried of. I don't know which number I will get today. The teachers must discuss to give you a fair number so that you are not a disappointment to them. I've never been number 1 in the rest of my life, but I've never gone beyond number 10. So I'm not a failure, but I've been in leadership. It is not that when you are a leader, then you should always be number 1, not necessarily, but if you can, please, why not? But when you're also a leader, don't be the last all the time. Don't give people a headache to discuss which number to give you. You should strike a balance. Commitment. Commit yourself. First thing that you should know that what has taken you to school is what? Is academics. Those others have come as additional responsibilities, which you can manage within your means of academic circles. Some of you are swallowed up in leadership. All the time leadership. We used to have a head boy in Teso College. You know Teso College, they give a head boy a special room the other side, yeah? So the guy would even go to lessons. You find him sleeping in the room because he's given a room alone. He goes to class at Wayne. By the end of the term, will they give you a certificate of being head boy as a report? That one will be an additional thing. But what your parents will ask for is that how did you perform? What was your number? So you need to have commitment. And more than any integrity, it stands. Integrity is very broad. By simple definition, it's simply what you do in private when nobody else sees. Do you know some of us have fallen victims of that? We have lost our integrity. So I put a statement there that we seek to prepare student leaders for adult life by developing respect for self, respect for others, and the environment in particular. Once you have those things, my dear, the future is bright. When you have respect for yourself, you have respect for others. Do you know, even when you are at your level of leadership, do you know even urinating anyhow becomes a problem? You really feel like you want to urinate, but you look at the environment and say, So you are forced to hold the urine because you fear one. You see the president, does he also urinate anyhow? He has to have his toilet behind him. You know, that toilet car. I don't even know how they dispose the urine and feces sometimes. but he has his toilet. So there are things that you must. I wish another brother was here. I was going to ask her in that VIP car that she also stopped in Namawajolo to buy chicken. Because there are certain portions that will buy you from other privileges. You know? Certain things must make you feel like, for the sake of my integrity, for the sake of my position, I think there are things that I need to let go. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to be involved in everything. You know? It's very important. How can a student leader qualify to unite and reconcile? How can you qualify? Number one, always behave exemplary. You have to be an example. You don't need to be this person that is being questioned. That even you, what happened? You need to behave exemplary. Show an example, but always be smart. Everybody has talked about smartness. Let me tell you. I attended a meeting one time where a certain man came. And the guy was really smart. I would say he was smart. And the people who had organized the meeting were not members of the same village. So the leaders who came, others were not on suits, not on coats. And this man, just because he's a common villager, he felt like he needed himself to be smart. Whenever he put up his hand, he was always asked to speak, but he never knew English. So he would speak in his language. And the leaders who had come there, who put up their hands, the other people would just jump their hands because they feel like the other man would go to ask him why he has even made it in now. But smartness. There used to be an RTC. He's now delayed. One time he drove himself. He felt like his driver was slow, so he wanted to add the function. So he told the driver to stop and he entered in to drive himself. So what happened? Because the escort is in the front. So where did the driver sit? Of course they sat behind. Because the boss is driving, escort is beside. Where did the driver sit? So they arrived at the function. He never even thought like when I get closer I can give back the driver his one. He proceeds. For him he entered. When they arrived there, they said they stopped their cars of course for check. I was there witnessing. They were checking the cars, so they opened the behind door and said, boss, you come and we show you what to say. Driver, you go, proceed and park the car in front. Who was the driver? The RDC, the boss. So the driver got out because they really pulled him out. Do you think they shared the same car coming back? So always be smart. They actually received this guy, took him to see because he was smart, he was presentable. So they knew he was what? The boss. Do you know smartness defines you? It defines who you are. It even opens doors that you are struggling to open just by being smart. Just smartness. One time we met for a meeting in the State House. I also put on one of my old suits. And then one of my bosses who had gone with us decided to be more casual. Do you know he struggled? And to make it worse, I had his clearance card. They walked ahead of me, so by the time I got there, they cleared me very fast and they left him behind. It was a struggle for him to get his clearance. Oh, this is good. Thank you. So always be smart. Consistently meet your deadlines. You need to meet your deadlines. Like I said, when you are a leader, do what leadership is supposed to do. When you are a student, do what you are supposed to do in the class. Meet your deadlines. Not when courseworks are needed, you have not done anything because your excuse is I've been busy with the leadership. Yes, it is good, but you also need to meet your deadlines. Try always to be better all round. Be an all-round student. Be better. Don't allow room for gaps. Try to be an all-round student. Try all things and make sure what you are doing, do it your best. Don't just do it for the sake or do it because you're being pushed to do it. All the others are forcing you to do it. Try to be there. Be excellent and punctual. One of the things, if you want to be a good leader, my friends, is time management. The moment you fail to manage time, you have failed all. You can't make anything better if you're not a good time manager. Note, if your actions inspire others to dream more, to learn more, to do more and become more, then you know you can make a good leader. Now let me ask you a question. Is there anything people admire in you that I wish I could be like that person? If you are not admired by anybody, including the most common villager, please have a problem. I am telling you facts. So begin to inspire people to make them know that you have value, you have material. Let's move to the next slide. What skills do you need to apply in unity and reconciliation? Number one, have passion for others. Begin to think of others. This one was talked about. I don't want to talk more about that. Don't be self-centered. Everything, me. No, think about others. You know, be passionate about others. Have a caring heart. You know, there are student leaders who don't care at all. They can even lead you to get into a problem and then they defend themselves. You know? So have a caring heart. And be friendly. You also be friendly. Don't be rude all the time. You know, there are people who pretend to be serious all the time. Even when they are walking, when you say hi, they say hi. And they are walking very fast. No smile, no nothing. You also try to be friendly. You know, don't be too serious all the time. You know, when you get a leadership position, that's when you should have more friends. Because by the time you retire, you need those people. By the time you are not in those positions, you need them. And be approachable. Sometimes I feel bad. This is not maybe for you. You know, my brother, I feel bad, especially for big people. Before someone gets a job, they can sit anywhere, they can greet anyone, they can hug you. Wait when they get a job, you meet them on appointment. If there's no appointment, they even change status. When you send them a person who used to be chatting with you all the time, when you send them a message, you know, they even create a business account that thank you for contacting so and so, I will get back to you when I'm free. Even when actually they're not doing anything, but just because the status has changed. Be approachable. Accept who you are. Let people come to you. If it is greeting, greet people. If it is talking to them, talk to them. Irrespective of their level and their standards. Be proactive. Don't just wait for things to be done for you. You also be creative. Start new things. And resilient. Persist. Learn to be a good listener. Like I said, some things happen. When they happen, don't rush to make decisions. Don't rush to talk. Be a good listener. And be reliable. When you are reliable, let your yes be yes. And remain in your yes. Maintain your words. That's a reliable person. When you say this, you mean it. Not when you are saying this, you mean a different thing. Gone are even those days when people used to think like when ladies say yes, they mean no. And when they say no, nowadays ladies are serious. When they want you, they will say I want you. Huh? Men, don't joke. Ladies are now, hey, you be there. By the way, don't take things for granted. Reconciliation is not cheap and cannot be good in cheap people. So when you cannot do reconciliation, you know, you can't maintain the standard. You are this person of cheap quality. But if you have it, if you have that, then you know that you are a very expensive person. Because it is based on costly forgiveness. Sometimes you have to, let things go. Forgiveness which is costly. There is no reconciliation until you recognize the dignity of others and feel how they feel. Sometimes you feel like, Kesubani, have you ever had like that? Kesubani. When you begin speaking like that, you have lost it. You have lost it. Begin to feel like others. What do you need to consider? What do we need to consider? Number one, leadership is not a position or a title. It is an action and example. It is not just carrying a title. It is not just a position. It's not just boasting about. But it is, you can be judged by your actions and example that you are leading. The other thing you need to know, there is no better exercise for the heart than reaching down and lifting others up. And that is what a leader must do. Now, let me ask you a question. At the time of your leadership position, who is that you're mentoring? Who is it that you feel can take up from you? Some of us are so greedy and selfish that we want everything centered around ourselves. And when you go with all your legacy, nobody, you are not even remembered, nobody even refers to you. As it was and nobody even they simply say, I can't bring this companion. You die wholesale. No. Reach down and lift others up. That is when you will be considered a person of great value. Like Maxwell one time said in a segment that a leader is not the one, a leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. When you know the way, as you go, others must follow you. Attract crowds, attract people to follow you because you know the way, you know. Also, you need to know that we are each other's harvest, we are each other's business, and we are each other's bond for unity and reconciliation. When the person next to you is not your business, then you can't make a good leader. You can't think of unity. You can't be a good reconciler. But make people around you your business. Make them your harvest. When there is no enemy within, the enemy outside cannot hurt you. Did you hear me well? When there is no enemy within you, the leaders, whatever happens, whatever comes from outside cannot tear you apart, cannot disorganize you. Listen to this saying, that when spiders unite, what happens? When spiders unite, let's read that together. What happens? They can tie down the lion. Did you know that? But can really spiders be strong that to tie down the lion? But it's a very important statement. It is talking about the unity. Once you put the bond of unity together, irrespective of what happens, what comes your way, you cannot be shaken. You will be the kind of united force that is able to move mountains. The conduct of one person determines the fate of others. Sometimes the mistake of our leaders have caused us to suffer. So you as a leader, if you are not considering unity and reconciliation, if you are not considering your position and your status, your mistake will cause others to suffer. Don't make us suffer the consequences of your actions. That you don't get unity by ignoring the questions that you must face. Like I said in the beginning, there are some people who simply say, yes, Barney. You don't just ignore questions, face them. Face them if you want to manage to be a good unifying factor. You can choose to live together as brothers, or do what? Or do what? Or perish as fools. If it is by choice. As leaders, you can gang around and things will work out for the good of others. But you can also choose to perish as what? Any question on what I've said? If you have a question on what I've said, ask. Otherwise, I want to say, thank you for listening to me. May God bless you all. And if there is a question, I am available.
Any question? Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to Papa Besweri Oteka. That is for people who are hungry. A better one. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being keen students and for listening. Papa Besweri, we are humbled. And thank you so much. May the Lord bless you abundantly and continue filling you with knowledge that you continue blessing us. Thank you so much. Now, you're hungry, right? In a few minutes, we shall be proceeding for our lunch. It is getting ready. It is getting set outside. Mama Helen talked about fasting. Some of you can't manage an hour without food. Okay, that is by the way. We are so much concerned with your health and of your well-being. We shall be eating in a few minutes. But besides, as the team outside gets set, I want to request the Guild President, Soroti University, to come and greet these people. These people are coming to your place next. I am going to give you 2 minutes to just tell them and they come there. Together with your speaker and the President of the University. The whole team is proceeding.
You can be whatever you want in life. You can be whatever you want in life. I can just tell you one thing about me. You can be a doctor. That's what I can promise you. But it comes with a dedication and it comes with hard work. I can assure you, wherever you are, if you are not dedicated, you can never become a doctor. I can assure you that. I can tell you that this gentleman was among the best in Soroti SF. That's how he managed to join Soroti University, because he was among the best in Teso actually. But if he had not become hardworking at that time, he would have not joined. Soroti University is very hard to join, I can assure you, my colleagues. Very, very hard. And this when you're already determined. The last student that they admitted in Soroti University last year had 17 points and that was nothing. How many students can get 17 points, 18 points, 19 points, and 20 points here if you're not hardworking? So we have to be determined and we have to be hardworking. But then if you fail to join in the first instance, for example, if you fail to join immediately after completing your senior 6, don't give up. Are we together? Don't give up. You can still join another course, work very hard, then come back and join Throat University. For example, when I joined my clinical medicine, I knew for sure that I had to get a very good CGPA. A CGPA is the how many marks I get it. They code when you join courses, they code there. Like A, B, A, B, A, B, C, D, like that. And you need to be getting like 70s to 80s to be getting A's and B's. And if you manage to perform very well in your college, that is another way you can actually join a higher institution. But I'm not here to preach all about joining medicine and surgery. We have so many courses out there. You can be anyone you want. You can become a very good lawyer. You can become a very good engineer. You can actually be an innovator. You can be a civil, a social. We have seen Mr. Ekwe here. He's a public speaker. He's an inspiration. He's actually a social affairs. I can call him a social affairs minister for us in Teso here. Yeah? We can see the directors. These are all young people like us, but they have ended up where they are right now. Let these people who are in front of us be an inspiration to us, but most importantly, let us be determined in whatever we do. Relationships are very important in high schools, but they should never take 10% of your time. Some relationships, for me, I believe they are good, not because, unfortunately, most of us, we think relationships are only sexual. Let us try to bring academic relationships, social relationships onto our lives. Because once we live here, we are going to face something bigger than just being at school. The one we are living right now, even your papers cannot save you alone. You can have a very good grade, but if you don't have social network, if you don't know someone, you may not even get a job out there. So let us build contacts, let us build good relationships, and we shall be better citizens in this country. I thank you so much, and I'm so glad to be part of this meeting today. Please read hard, come and join us in Throat University. I am proud to be the first Guild President of Throat University. And I'm also proud to be the first Teso to become a Guild President of Throat University. It is not easy because in Throat we are only about 10% who are Teso. The rest are outsiders. But still I managed to go through, not because of tribal lines, but because of the mission and the vision I had for the university. And I'm so glad to be part of you. May God bless all of us.
Thank you so much, GP. Pusitema.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. All the protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The Lord is good. All the time. Yes, later. Fasting fast. Lord is more important than all of us, so we need to appreciate the presence of God Almighty. My name is Aliga Peter. I'm the resident campus commissioner of Ositema University Arapai campus. That's the guild president of a faculty. Leadership is not a song to sing. It has been said to be an action. But what defines leadership, young leaders and the next generation, are only 5 things that we, the young generations, are suffering from. Papa, I would like to say this, that we, the young generation today, are victims of 5 P's. When we get possession of leadership, we want to become popular. Gaining popularity is killing with the young generation. When we become leaders, We are yearning to become prestige and get popularity and get property, which are killing the young generation. My dear young leaders and fellow comrades in this conference, it comes at the right time that Estabilisa Development Africa has organized such a nice event to talk about the role of leadership, which I believe all of us have the potential. And being a leader, you take responsibility. Everyone is a leader, but if we fail to take responsibility, you wouldn't be able to make a good leader. I'm happy that we who are here have taken responsibility to serve. Let's serve very gently, and above all, God is the guidance. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucia Tema, the homeboy.
Thank you very much. It's so delightful. Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know where to start from, but majorly when a person leaves home for a long time and comes back and finds development all around, his heart is overwhelmed and feels like I am home. I want to begin by thanking the establisher, Development Africa, for organizing such a training for the student leaders. This is so good, and I want to commend the presenters who have given me their time to present and make sure that the rightful information is passed to these upcoming leaders. I was here in 2013 to 2016. That is me as a Peru Jacob, and my leadership career actually started from here. I want to begin by introducing myself. My name is Jacob Epem. I am the Guild Speaker at Soroti University, and I work hand in hand with Honorable John Francis Abumoto. He is the Guild President. I started here as a class prefect in 2013, 2014, and served again as the academics prefect, 2015, 2016. That's where I met this influential man. He served as my HP. And that time, it was really a good regime, and we actually established a lot of changes within this institution. And I want to say, under his service, we really beat up to the heights. Thank you. As I proceed to give in my advice to you, I feel cheated until I have said this tetrad of leadership. It is a tetrad of leadership that I wish to extend unto you. A tetrad comprises of 4 things. And if you leaders who are coming, I like inspiring young students, young leaders, and within me, I actually write quotes that inspire the young students to discover self, to shine the light of impossibility, shine the light of possibility into the market depth of the impossibility, so that they'll be able to realize how best they can maximize their potential and live to their expectations. And this tetrad comprises of 4 things, and that is a leader with vision. That is one of the 4 things. A leader with vision. You should have a vision when you come into leadership. My leadership started in this school, and ever since I started, I have never lost my vision, and I keep surmounting. I led even as a Bible study leader, scripture reading in this institution, and I served twice. By the time you serve the same position twice, that means the people you serve have really entrusted you with their vote. That's the kind of leadership that I expect from each one of you who are actually. So that is the first. The second one is time management. It has been talked about right here. The moment you fail to manage your time, you can never concomitantly drive 2 things at a go. Why am I saying 2 things? You have your role as a leader, but you also have your core that you have come for, and that is getting that certificate of education that you are looking out for. So if you manage your time well, you can be able to beat up the two stones together. You can beat up those two bags with one stone. I, for one, I served as a leader, but I also emerged the best student. What does that mean? I managed my time well. I knew what first and what next. So if you are to become a leader, manage your time well. Partition it. There are some things that should not evade your time. Thank you. That's the third one is discover your limit. Yes? Discover your limits. You as a leader, you're not supposed to change everything. I'm summarizing, thank you. That's why Richard Niebuhr, that is an American theologian, in his prayer said, God, give me the serenity to change the things I can and leave out what I cannot. But most especially, give me the strength to distinguish between those two. The fourth one is seek out for knowledge. That is the treat one. If you're irresolute, look out for knowledge. The people are always willing to support you up, and you'll be able to beat up your heights. Thank you very much for God and my country.
Your course.
Oh, thank you very much. I do Bachelor of Nursing Science, a second year student at Toronto University.
Thank you so much. If you're an academic prefect, just stand up. Stand up. Very fast, though. Wow. Jacob is a challenge to all of us. If you're an academic prefect and you're not exemplary academically, please resign. This man was the best student all the years he was here. Academically, he got mattresses upon mattresses because here they give mattresses to best students. If you can't make it academically, resign, no, for God and my country. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, GP Speaker and GP Busitema. It is therefore time for lunch. It is therefore time for what? It is therefore time for lunch. I want to request Head Girl Olila, pray for the food. Where are you? Am I seeing Head Girl Olila? You're taking long, Head Girl Jeresa. If you're shy, you're shy. Head Girl Jeresa, please come first and pray for the food. Pray for the food well. Okay? Please run in front and pray. A shorter prayer for the food.
Let's humble ourselves and pray. Oh Lord Jesus, I want to say thank you for this day that you've given unto us. Lord Father, for this afternoon is a blessing unto us. Lord Jesus, may you continue giving us strength as you have so far given us from morning up to this time. Lord Jesus, we want to pray for the food that we are going to eat, and may you bless us. May you bless it in Jesus' name we have prayed and believed it.
And we won't say what? Amen. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, protocol, our dear keynote speakers would request that you use this side and proceed to the other table and have your lunch. It is this table this side. And then the students will take their lunch from the other side. I want to request that we shall be very organized. After our keynote speakers take their lunch, I request the guild presidents and the visitors decide to follow, and then the patrons. All of us, we shall take our lunch this side. Meanwhile, all students will use the other table for lunch. After our leaders are done, we may join this table later. I will advise. So it is time for lunch. We are going to spend strictly 30 minutes. We are few. We can be served faster. 30 minutes and I'm timing. Let's eat like soldiers just to get energy to carry on. So this event is adjourned for 30 minutes as we take our lunch. Thank you so much. It is lunch time. DJ, give us some lunch music.
All the world. Vibez.